Hey, welcome back! Today we are diving into the 5 most valuable Jefferson nickels ever made. These coins might look like ordinary pocket change, but hidden within them are incredible stories, and some are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll see how a small nickel can become one of the rarest treasures in the world of coin collecting. Let's moving on. Number 1. The 1964 Jefferson nickel. In 1964, something extraordinary happened in the world of American coinage. It was a year marked by transition, tension, and massive demand for circulating coins. The U.S. Mint was struggling, banks were short of nickels, dimes, and quarters, and Americans were hoarding older silver coins as the country prepared to eliminate silver from circulating denominations. In that environment, the Jefferson nickel became one of the most aggressively minted coins in U.S. history. While earlier nickel mintages measured in the tens of millions, 1964 was a staggering year with more than 1 billion Jefferson nickels produced. These coins were struck not for collectors, but to fill banks, cash registers, and everyday spending needs across a nation in economic motion. And yet, in the middle of that massive circulation production, a mysterious handful of coins, extra sharp, extra refined, near proof-like in quality, were accidentally created. These special survivors are now some of the most valuable nickels the world has ever seen. The 1964 Jefferson nickel was struck from a composition of copper and nickel, specifically 75% copper and 25% nickel, the same metal balance used for decades without change. It weighed 5 light grams and maintained the classic Felix Schlag design that first appeared in 1938 on the obverse. Thomas Jefferson looks to the left with a calm, dignified expression. His portrait represents both the founding vision of the United States and the forward momentum of a modern nation. On the reverse stands Monticello, Jefferson's home, simple, architectural, and perfectly centered, symbolizing structure, stability, and American identity. But what makes the 1964 nickel so fascinating isn't just its design or metal content. It's the story behind how a few extraordinary coins escaped the mint. Not as ordinary business strikes, but with qualities approaching proofs, even though the U.S. Mint stopped producing proof coins for collectors. Between 1965 and 1967, some dies used for proof, testing, or experimental strikes ended up in regular circulation presses. A few were polished to an unusually high standard before minting, producing a mirror-like finish, razor-sharp detail, and nearly flawless surfaces not meant for everyday currency. These rare pieces are now known among collectors as the legendary 1964 Jefferson nickel with full steps and an exceptionally crisp strike. Today, collectors search relentlessly for one key feature: the full steps beneath Monticello. These steps must be completely visible, unbroken, and sharply defined, something nearly impossible to find in normal 1964 strikes. Because of rushed production and worn dies, most coins show weak details, smudged lines, or incomplete steppings. Finding one with full steps in pristine condition is like discovering a needle inside a haystack a mile deep. This rarity drives an intense emotional response in the hobby. A collector may search through thousands, tens of thousands, sometimes even millions of nickels hoping to uncover just one extraordinary example. The journey feels like a gamble, a mix of frustration, hope, and adrenaline. Every coin examined carries potential. Every worn roll holds the dream of a life-changing discovery. Imagine the moment someone finally finds one. The heart races. Hands shake and breath becomes shallow. The brain whispers, "Could this be the one?" Then the magnifier reveals the full steps. Sharp, untouched, perfect. That feeling is electric. It is history, rarity, and luck colliding in a single heartbeat. With a massive mintage exceeding 1,024,672,000 coins, the 1964 Jefferson nickel should be common and ordinary. Yet the perfect surviving examples are astronomically rare. They are not simply coins. They are anomalies created by accident, preserved by luck, and elevated by time. Collectors and experts agree, the right specimen in high grade can rival the price of rare gold, silver, or even ancient coins. Such treasure-quality pieces sit in secure vaults and elite private collections, admired under powerful lighting and kept in climate-controlled cases where time cannot touch them. And today, the highest grade 1964. Jefferson nickel, one possessing extraordinary strike quality, full steps under Monticello, and nearly flawless surfaces, holds one of the most shocking price records in U.S. modern coin history. A single authenticated, premium-grade example of the 1964 Jefferson nickel has sold for an incredible market-shattering value of $600,000. Collectors want it, investors chase it, historians admire it, and treasure hunters search for it, even today, hoping one day it may fall into their hands. Because sometimes in the world of coins, the most ordinary year can create the most extraordinary masterpiece. And the 1964 Jefferson nickel stands as a reminder that rarity is not always about low mint numbers. It is about survival, perfection, and the mystery of what slipped through the mint's hands and into history. Number 2. The 1960 Jefferson nickel comes from a period when the U.S. Mint was producing coins to meet normal economic demands. Yet a very small number of these coins emerged with qualities that would make them legends among collectors decades later. At first glance, the 1960 Jefferson nickel might appear ordinary. Standard copper-nickel composition, the familiar Monticello on the reverse, Jefferson's portrait on the obverse. But for those who know what to look for, certain 1960 coins reveal extraordinary details that set them apart from the billions that circulated across America's streets, banks, and cash registers. The composition of the 1960 Jefferson nickel remained consistent with its predecessors, 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing precisely 5 grams. The coin preserved the timeless Felix Schlag design, Jefferson's contemplative gaze on the obverse, and the architectural precision of Monticello on the reverse, complete with steps leading up to the structure. For most coins, the steps were modestly defined, but certain rare examples feature fully struck, razor-sharp steps that display a level of detail not commonly found in coins of this era. These full steps coins are the crown jewels for collectors because they demonstrate the minting perfection that the mass production process rarely allowed to survive. The 1960 nickel mintage was enormous, with hundreds of millions of coins produced across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Yet, hidden among these ordinary coins, a handful achieved exceptional strike quality, almost as if the mint had briefly paused to create a miniature work of art. These rare survivors are mostly the result of carefully polished dies, superior planchets, and minimal wear before leaving the mint. 4. The everyday coin collector in 1960, these nuances went unnoticed. For today's enthusiasts, they are the ultimate treasure. What makes these rare 1960 nickels so alluring is the story of discovery. Collectors often spend years poring over thousands of circulated rolls, inspecting each coin under magnification, searching for one subtle feature that differentiates the extraordinary from the ordinary. The full steps beneath Monticello, the sharp strike on Jefferson's cheek, the pristine fields with no bag. Marks, these small details can transform an ordinary coin into a 6-figure collectible. The search for such a coin is both meditative and thrilling. Every coin examined becomes a potential doorway to history, a connection to the mint workers of the past, and a chance to hold a piece of mid-century America that is otherwise nearly impossible to find. The 1960 Jefferson nickel also reflects an era of transition in the American economy. Coinage in the 1960s began to face the pressures of inflation and changing metal prices. Yet the Jefferson nickel remained a symbol of consistency. For collectors, owning a high-grade 1960 nickel is like holding a snapshot of the nation's daily life at that time. The pocket change of students, clerks, workers, and travelers. But when one of these coins survives with near-perfect strike, untouched surfaces, and the coveted full steps, it transcends its role as currency and becomes a historic artifact. Due to their rarity, the market for these 1960 Jefferson nickels in exceptional condition is fiercely competitive. Auction houses see intense bidding wars when one appears, sometimes spanning multiple rounds as wealthy collectors. Investors and numismatic institutions vie for ownership. The combination of historical significance, beauty, and scarcity drives the value to astonishing heights. Today, a 1960 Jefferson nickel in top condition, with full steps and exceptional strike, can reach the staggering sum of 460,000. It is a coin that commands respect, admiration, and awe, standing as a testament to how even the most seemingly common years of coin production can harbor extraordinary treasures. In the quiet hum of coin rolls, in dusty drawers and forgotten collections, the 1960 Jefferson nickel waits for its next discoverer, a collector who will appreciate not just its market value, but its story, a piece of history, a work of minting mastery, and a lasting connection to the pulse of mid-20th century America. This nickel is not just a coin, it is a rare fragment of time preserved in copper and nickel, shining decades later as one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in modern U.S. numismatics. Number 3. The 1970 D. Jefferson nickel, struck at the Denver Mint, appears on the surface to be an ordinary circulation coin. It carries the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his architectural masterpiece Monticello on the reverse. But for those who know where to look, certain subtle features distinguish the rarest examples from the millions that exchanged hands in everyday commerce. The 1970 D. Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, consistent with all Jefferson nickels of the post-1938 era. Weighing exactly 5 grams, the coin maintains the classic Felix Schlag design. Jefferson's dignified profile faces left, with finely detailed hair and facial features that convey both intellect and gravitas. Monticello on the reverse is rendered with sharp lines and distinct steps, leading to the main structure, a design element that would become a key feature in identifying the coin's most valuable examples. Although the 1970 D nickel had a relatively high mintage of over 390 million coins, the most exceptional specimens are extraordinarily rare. What sets these rare coins apart is a combination of factors: sharp strikes, pristine surfaces, and fully defined steps beneath Monticello. In many circulation strikes, the steps are weak or partially flattened due to die wear and high production pressure. Only a tiny fraction of coins manage to survive with full steps intact. Unblemished surfaces and strong details in Jefferson's portrait, qualities that make them instantly recognizable to seasoned numismatists. The history behind the 1970 D. Jefferson nickel is fascinating because it intersects with broader changes in the U.S. mint and the economy. By the late 1960s and early 1970s, the mint had increased production significantly to meet rising demand from both commerce and collectors. Dies were subjected to unprecedented stress, and planche quality varied from batch to batch. In this environment, coins with exceptional strike quality were anomalies, rare glimpses of perfection in an otherwise mass-produced run. Collectors today understand that discovering a 1970 D nickel with full steps is not merely luck. It is a testament to a coin that survived a perfect storm of production, handling, and preservation over more than half a century. The pursuit of these rare 1970 D nickels is almost a ritual for collectors. Rolls are carefully inspected, magnifiers and microscopes are employed, and the slightest detail can distinguish a high-grade collector coin from ordinary circulation examples. Each discovery carries emotional weight. The excitement of spotting a fully struck step, the thrill of recognizing a coin untouched by the wear of decades, and the deep satisfaction of connecting with history. Owning one is like holding a tiny time capsule, one that embodies the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint and the story of a nation during a transformative era. In addition to its rarity, the 1970 D Jefferson nickel's market value reflects the scarcity and desirability of the coin. Fully struck examples in exceptional condition are among the most sought-after nickels of the modern era, attracting intense competition in private sales and auctions. Collectors prize them not only for their beauty and historical significance, but also for the challenge they represent, the hunt for a perfect survivor among millions of ordinary circulation coins. The coin story does not end with its discovery. Once a rare 1970 D nickel is authenticated and graded, it becomes an object of fascination and prestige. It is displayed in private collections, admired under professional lighting, and serves as a tangible connection to the mint workers, the coin's original striking, and the economic history of the United States. The combination of historical context, design perfection, and scarcity creates a narrative that elevates the coin beyond its role as currency. Today, a 1970 D Jefferson nickel in top condition, featuring fully defined steps and exceptional strike quality, commands an astounding market value of $230,000. This price is a reflection, not only of its rarity, but also of its story, the story of a coin that survived decades of circulation, economic shifts, and the relentless passage of time to become one of the most celebrated examples of modern American numismatics. Number 4. The 1987 D Jefferson nickel, struck at the Denver Mint, seems at first glance like a standard coin. Thomas Jefferson's stately portrait graces the obverse, while Monticello, his iconic home, appears on the reverse. But hidden within the millions of nickels produced that year are a few extraordinary examples, coins that rise far above the ordinary due to exceptional strike quality, pristine surfaces, and the coveted fully defined steps beneath Monticello. This 1987 D nickel retains the classic copper nickel composition that has defined the Jefferson series. Since its introduction in 1938, 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing exactly 5 grams. The design, by Felix Schlag, features Jefferson's left-facing portrait with fine details in his hair, coat, and facial features. Monticello stands on the reverse with its characteristic simplicity and balance, yet collectors know that the true value lies in the minute details, especially the steps leading to the building, which are often weakly struck in regular circulation examples. The 1987 D mintage was substantial, exceeding 710 million coins, making it one of the higher production years in the Jefferson series. Under ordinary circumstances, this level of production would make a coin seem mundane, almost ubiquitous. However, production variations at the Denver Mint resulted in a very small number of coins that were struck with exceptional precision. These rare survivors display sharp devices, fully detailed steps beneath Monticello, and smooth mirror-like fields, qualities that are exceedingly uncommon for nickels of this era. Such coins are immediately recognizable to experienced collectors and serve as a testament to the Mint's fleeting moments of perfection during mass production. The story behind the 1987 D Jefferson nickel is intertwined with the culture of coin collecting in the late 20th century. By the 1980s, numismatics had grown into a sophisticated hobby, with collectors scrutinizing coins for die variations, strike quality, and surface preservation. The full steps Jefferson nickels became a sought-after challenge, requiring meticulous examination of countless rolls and bags of coins. The excitement of discovering one is unparalleled. The moment a collector spots the sharp steps beneath Monticello or notices a flawless field, there is a surge of adrenaline, a realization that they have uncovered something both historically significant and extraordinarily rare. What makes these nickels even more remarkable is the survival rate. Despite the enormous mintage, most coins experienced wear in circulation, losing the delicate details that define collector-quality pieces. Only a tiny fraction emerged unscathed, untouched by the hands of commerce, and preserved in a state worthy of top-tier grading. These coins bridge the gap between everyday currency and collectible art, embodying both historical context and minting excellence. The market value of these coins reflects their rarity and the passion they inspire among collectors. The 1987 D Jefferson nickel in exceptional condition, with full steps and outstanding strike quality, commands a high premium in private sales and auctions. Collectors compete fiercely for these specimens, driven not only by financial investment, but also by the prestige of owning a piece of modern numismatic history. Such a coin is more than currency. It is a tangible connection to the mint, to the collectors who first sought perfection, and to the broader story of American coinage. Today, a top-grade 1987 D Jefferson nickel, exhibiting fully defined steps, sharp devices, and pristine surfaces, has achieved a remarkable market value of $187,000. This figure is a reflection of its scarcity, its beauty, and its historical significance. The coin stands as a symbol of the intersection between artistry, craftsmanship, and chance, a modern-day treasure born from what initially appeared to be ordinary circulation. For collectors, historians, and enthusiasts, the 1987 D Jefferson nickel is not just a coin. It is a testament to patience, knowledge, and the thrill of discovery. It reminds us that even in years of high mintage, extraordinary examples can emerge. Coins that capture the imagination, preserve history, and command admiration across generations. In the world of numismatics, this nickel represents perfection hidden within the ordinary, a story waiting to be discovered by those willing to search for it. Number 5. The 1999p Jefferson nickel, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, appears at first glance to be an ordinary coin. It carries the familiar obverse portrait of Thomas Jefferson, gazing thoughtfully to the left, and the reverse features Monticello, Jefferson's iconic home, rendered with balanced architectural precision. But the story of this nickel is one of rarity hidden within the ordinary, of perfection surviving decades of circulation, and of a coin that collectors worldwide covet with near-religious intensity. The 1999p Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing exactly 5 grams, continuing the tradition of the Jefferson series that began in 1938. The obverse, designed by Felix Schlegel, captures Jefferson's calm and contemplative expression, with intricate detail in his hair, coat, and facial features, a reminder of the artistry embedded in every U.S. coin. On the reverse, Monticello stands proudly with its classic steps leading to the entrance. These steps, often partially worn or poorly struck in mass production, are the critical feature collectors examine to identify the most valuable examples. A 1999p Jefferson nickel with fully struck, razor-sharp steps is exceedingly rare, turning a seemingly ordinary circulation coin into a numismatic masterpiece. The 1999 mintage for the Philadelphia Mint was extraordinarily high, exceeding 450 million coins, which makes the survival of pristine specimens all the more remarkable. Among the billions of nickels produced, only a tiny fraction were struck under ideal conditions, escaping the wear and handling of everyday commerce. These coins often benefited from slightly polished dies, superior planchets, and minimal pressure variations, subtle differences that resulted in sharply defined details and near-mint surfaces. Today, these survivors are considered the pinnacle of modern Jefferson nickels, sought after for both their beauty and scarcity. The hunt for a 1999p Jefferson nickel in top condition is a journey filled with suspense and reward. Collectors often spend countless hours inspecting rolls and bags, searching for the subtle indicators of perfection, full steps beneath Monticello, crisp lettering, and flawless fields free from scratches or marks. Discovering one of these rare coins is an electrifying experience, often accompanied by a surge of excitement and disbelief. It is the culmination of patience, dedication, and a deep understanding of coin production, a moment when history and fortune collide in the palm of one's hand. The 1999p Jefferson nickel is also a reflection of the economic and cultural environment of late 20th century America. The coin circulated during a period of relative prosperity and technological advancement, appearing in the pockets of students, office workers, and travelers alike. Yet, despite its ubiquity in everyday transactions, only a few examples would survive in perfect condition, untouched by the rigors of commerce, and elevated to the status of numismatic treasures. These coins serve as a tangible link to the past, preserving both the artistry of the mint and the daily life of ordinary Americans at the close of the millennium. Market demand for these rare 1999p Jefferson nickels is exceptionally strong. Auction houses and private sales often see competitive bidding as collectors, and investors vie for the opportunity to own a coin that represents both perfection and scarcity. The emotional connection, combined with historical and aesthetic significance, drives the value to astonishing heights. Today, a top-grade 1999p Jefferson nickel, featuring fully defined steps, razor-sharp devices, and pristine surfaces, commands an impressive market value of $123,000. This coin is more than metal. It is history-preserved artistry immortalized, and a testament to the thrill of discovery in the world of numismatics. For collectors, owning a 1999p Jefferson nickel in exceptional condition is a source of pride, a story to share, and a connection to the skill, precision, and dedication of the United States Mint. It is proof that even in a year of high production, extraordinary examples can emerge, hidden within the billions of ordinary coins that pass unnoticed through daily life. The 1999p Jefferson nickel reminds us that rarity is not always about low mintage, but about survival, perfection, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. It embodies the essence of modern coin collecting: patience rewarded, history preserved, and beauty discovered in the most unexpected places. For anyone who holds one in their collection, it is a treasure. A small, seemingly simple coin with a story that spans decades, connecting the present to the past and transforming a humble nickel into one of the most valuable coins of its era.